Hi Mzansi, this is Farmers Inside Track, proudly brought to you by Food for Mzansi. My name is Patricia Tembo, your host, and welcome to today's episode. So today we are looking at specialized substrates such as coir, peat moss, and perlite and their growing role in greenhouse, nursery, and intensive horticultural production systems. This episode is set to be both informative and practical, as we welcome Dean Oellerman of Greenhouse Technologies. We spoke to him live on the NAMPO 2026 grounds. Dean, could you please just give us an overview of the business Greenhouse?
So we are Greenhouse Technologies. We have been around for 25 years. We've got a head office in Johannesburg in City Deep, and we have a branch in every province, which we pride ourselves in, and then we cover all the African countries as well. So all our surrounding countries.
So the SADC, Southern African
Yes,
region, they say.
correct.
That's amazing. So Dean, what is your role within the context of Greenhouse?
My role is I'm the KwaZulu-Natal area manager, and I cover Lesotho myself. So my role is to promote our products and sell our products in KwaZulu-Natal.
Peat and coir is not soil, it's a different medium for
Correct.
crop production, is that correct?
That's exactly
Maybe
it.
just give us like an explanation of what exactly it is.
Yeah, so coir basically is coconuts. So we import that from India or Sri Lanka. So it grows in the monsoon seasons there, and then it comes through the coconut husk. It then gets processed and milled and dried out, and that's sort of the end result of a coconut husk.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a coconut once upon a time in its life. It gets processed and then it gets dried out on this big concrete block, and then it gets compacted into a block like that. What we do with that 5 kg block there is that thing gets hydrated, and it expands to about 60 liters worth of grain medium. So instead of bringing it in hydrated into the country, we bring it on 1 ton pallets. We get 22 pallets on a container, and that expands. So it's just easier to transport and get it around the country. So that's a coir. So then it comes from a coconut. Then peat moss is a natural product that is in the ground naturally. It's a bog. It's like in a floodplain. So our stuff comes from Lithuania. So it's almost a little bit below sea level. So it stays very wet, and then it's harvested in many different ways. We have giant vacuum cleaners, they're massive tractors where our condiments stand inside the wheel arch like that. They cut the peat and they process it, and then it goes through a big grading system where we get the different recipes of it. So you can see that's one of your finer peat mixes. It's a 1 to 7 mil. And then you start going into 0 to 25 with the green fiber product. That's your green fiber. And then you go all the way through to a nice coarse recipe like that. How you use the product is it goes from a smaller pot. You'll use something slightly finer, so like your seedling tray, all that sort of stuff. And the bigger, coarser stuff here we use in a bigger pot, like a 25 to 30 litre pot. We use that mostly for blueberries, in fact. So blueberries and then mother plants on cannabis production. That's where that product
Let's
gets
expand
used.
a little bit more on that. What sort of crop is the farmer looking at when using different products?
So it's majority sold to the seedling nurseries. So the
Okay.
guys that are producing the vegetable seedlings for retail to the farmers. So it's a premium product.
So it's not something a farmer would go out looking for if they're wanting to grow their own seedlings?
They can. They certainly can.
Okay.
But commercially, the big guys, they'll use the peat and the coir. Yeah. So some guys are more traditional. They prefer to use coir and they'll mix it with their perlite. Perlite just gives it a little bit more drainage, so it just helps to drain. And then traditionally, over the last few years, we've developed this product in South Africa to our South African market. There's thousands of different recipes online that you can buy, but we're bringing in the ones and we're adapting our ones to the South African climates. Very hot and humid, so we start adding more and more of certain products to it to give it more drainage, so you can irrigate more, make sure your fertilizers stay in the product.
So why would a farmer or a nursery opt for this?
So for us, it's a premium product. A lot of guys still growing bark and river sand and all that sort of stuff, but they're not getting a success rate on the germination. So with
it's
you're
about the
getting 98 to
germination
100% germination rate. You've got nice quality, healthy roots that come out of the product, and that just gives it the best chance once you've transplanted it in the ground. Because once you go from the tray, you're going into the ground, and you want to give it the best possible chance to grow. So you get a nice, big, strong root structure, and then that goes straight into the ground. So its chance of survival is way higher.
I'm gathering from what you're saying, it is also really good for water retention. I know like
Correct.
in the Southern
Correct,
African
yes.
region, we have that issue with drought and low soil moisture. So is this something that can be used in tandem with normal soil production, like normal fields crop production?
There's one way that we do use it in the field for the blueberry guys specifically. The cost of putting a blueberry is quite expensive. So you normally buy a pot for 45, 50 rand, and then you buy the premium substrate. It also starts costing money, but some of the guys then create a pot in the ground. So then they dig the same 25 litre hole, they put the specialised substrate in and plant the pot in there. So you've still got a nice big root base, and directly around the roots you've got a nice product. So you're saving money on not spending on the pot, but you can still use the quality.
Looking at cost-wise, is it something that you would say a farmer has to really invest in? Is it a huge investment, or would you say it's affordable for like smaller scale?
It's 100% affordable for the smaller scales.
Yeah.
Into African countries, a lot of the smaller farmers and stuff, we sell it in a 70 litre bale as well. But these bales that you see are 210 litre bales. So into the African countries, they like to take the 70 litre bales because they're only doing a handful of trays. So one bale here is 210 litres, and we do normally about 50 of the 200 cavity seedling trays. So you're getting 10,000 seedlings off one bale.
And accessibility, you said you operate within the Southern African region.
So we've got a branch in every province, and we cover the whole of Southern Africa and then into Africa a bit as well. We've got guys in Ghana, we've got guys everywhere.
And do you offer technical support for farmers who are using the product?
We do. To our big clients and stuff, we don't do training as such, but with our big clients, then we offer the technical support. All our partners and stuff that we buy these from, they travel out to South Africa as well. So the guys from Klasman, they come out from France, and in that sort of area, they come out and we spend 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and we go see all our big clients in the areas. Our irrigation guys come out from overseas and so forth.
And then closing comments, if you were to convince a nursery or a farmer to use your product, what would you say?
So we pride ourselves in selling a premium product and a quality product. We don't believe in bringing in cheap stuff. We want to offer the guys the best product that they can get the best results for their farms.
Thank you so much to Dean Oellerman from Greenhouse Technologies. If you'd like to read more about this topic, you can visit www.foodforumzansi.co.za. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Remember to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platforms. That's it from myself, Patricia Tembo, our technical producer, Megan van der Vent, and the rest of #Team Food Farm Zanzi. Thank you for listening and keep growing with us.